Hey up, Mr. Josh here, back for another Listen and Understanding video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to click on the link underneath this video. That will take you to my website. There you download a question sheet. Under the title of the question sheet, you'll find a link to YouTube. Watch that video as many times as you like, answer the questions, then come back here to see how many you got right and wrong. So here we are again, another video. I think we're up to number 16. And in a slight change to the advertised program, I haven't sent this video out to anyone yet. I normally test these videos before I do this on my students. But this week I just forgot and I'm running behind, so we're going in bareback today, children. Anyhow, so this is Bill Gates, someone who I think needs no introduction. You've probably heard of him. He runs this little itty bitty company called Microsoft. And he's on a TV chat show called Ellen. Ellen, you might not have heard of. She started out as a stand-up comedian in America, had her own TV sitcom before she had a bit of a problem in the social media realm and got kicked off television. And now she's back with her own TV talk show. And she is interviewing Bill Gates on her show for the first time. This is not the first time Bill Gates has been interviewed. It's the first time he's on Ellen DeGeneres' show. So, without any further ado, because I've got a feeling this could all go horribly wrong, and I want to try and make as little mistakes as possible. As little mistakes as possible? There's one straight away. As few mistakes as possible. Let's get into this. Bill Gates chats with Ellen for the first time. Question 1. According to Ellen, what was Bill worried about before starting the interview? Ellen says that Bill was worried about the whole walking on bit because they play music and most guests feel the need to dance as they come up to the sofa, and well, Bill just didn't do it. Question 2. Was Ellen in the studio for the guest rehearsal? Absolutely, yes she was. She is always at the rehearsals and she saw part of it. Question 3. Ellen plays a video of Bill's rehearsal where he is dancing on stage. What does he jump over? Okay, well obviously this rehearsal clip that you're watching is not him. It's very obvious it's, an actor pretending to be him. But he jumps over a sofa before ripping off his trousers and getting jiggy with the back of the sofa. Question 4. Which family member does Bill have in the audience today? So that would be his daughter, which is the girl with the long hair, going red in the face, having seen her father dancing on stage. Question 5. Why were both Bill and Ellen in the White House recently? At the time of recording of this, they had both recently been in the White House to receive a medal from the President of the United States, one Barack Obama. And that would be the Medal of Freedom, which is given to mostly civilians as opposed to people who serve in the army or whatever. And it's for some kind of outstanding contribution like helping world peace, advancing technologies, giving hope to people, whatever. They don't give out many of these a year from what I understand. It's quite limited in number, so if you get one, it's like, woohoo! Question 6. Bill was 21 when he became a millionaire. True or false? False. He became a billionaire, not a millionaire. So I think we can safely say that Bill Gates is well and truly minted. If you don't know what I mean by the word minted, then I'll put a card up here to the video where I explain it. Question 7. Bill explains that when he was younger, he didn't have much interest in money. What was his great interest when he was younger? His great interest, unsurprisingly, was technology and software development and all things techie. Everything that really truly puts me to sleep, I've got to confess, I just cannot be doing with technology. As far as I'm concerned, it stopped at the microwave oven and the cash machine. We didn't need to progress beyond that. I mean, the internet, apart from pornography and internet shopping, what's it good for? Question 8. Bill went to a school with children from families that were better off financially. Was he envious of those families? No, he really wasn't. He noticed that they were better off, that the family had a Porsche or something like that, but he didn't really care about it. He was comfortable enough, it didn't matter. Question 9. When Bill was starting to become successful, what was his greatest worry at the time? So his big worry, bearing in mind that he's only 21, was responsibility to the people that worked for him. As he explains, most of the people that worked for him were older than him. They were married with children, they had to support themselves and what have you. And if the company collapsed for any reason, these people would suddenly be without work. So it was the responsibility of looking after all these people, his employees, that he really was worried about. Question 10. How much of a financial cushion did Bill feel the company needed before he could relax and be happy with the condition of the company's finances? So a financial cushion, which should not be confused with one of these, this is a cushion but not a financial one, is a reserve of money you keep in case things go wrong, what in England is known as saving for a rainy day. But for him, he wanted at least 1 year's worth of money in the company so that if something went wrong, people would have their salary for at least a year and the company could still function normally. Question 11. Bill says that his first indulgence was to buy a Porsche. What is an indulgence? An indulgence is something that you either buy for yourself or do for yourself that you don't really need. It's a luxury item. For him, it was buying a Porsche. Like for me at the minute, it's travel. That is my indulgence. I travel as much as I can, and this is why I am poor and broke. I need money. Send me money, please. Just send money now. I need it. Question 12. What does Bill say is his greatest indulgence in life? So his greatest indulgence nowadays is his private jet, which, well, probably from a financial point of view, actually saves him money because it would be a tax write-off. But yeah, to have your own plane just sitting there waiting to take you wherever you want is a bit of an indulgence. Question 13. Which room in Bill's house has a very high ceiling? So I think this would definitely be counted as another indulgence, although he says it's not really an indulgence. But the room with the really high ceiling is the room that just has one gigantic trampoline. Why do you need a trampoline room in a house? I don't know, I suppose you've got to spend your money on something. Question 14. What is the main purpose of Bill's charity foundation? So the purpose of this charity, which he has invested $40 billion of his own money into, which is a lot, is global health, specifically to do with poorer developing countries and also children. Question 15. Bill claims that his foundation has managed to reduce child deaths in Africa by 5 million. True or false? Well, that would be false, because he didn't actually mention Africa. He just said that deaths have been reduced by 5 million. I don't know if that's meant to be a year or a week or a month or over the course of the 18 years he's had the foundation, but yeah, that's quite a few people. Question 16. What is his foundation trying to do for children in his home country? So what he's doing in America, his home country, is spending the money on education as opposed to medical. Because surprising as it may seem, there are still kids that leave school in America unable to properly read and write. And it's true also in England for that matter. When I went through school, I knew of at least one person who really was super bad. Worse than me, and I was really bad. And I actually worked with someone who totally could not read. He could only sign his name. And he was the same age as me. That's all he could do with a pen. Which is surprising. You know, people think that England is a well-to-do country. It's in the global economy of the top countries, but yeah, not always. 17. Ellen implies that many teachers in the USA are overpaid for the work they do. True or false? This would be false. What she implies is that they are underpaid and that they are having to use their own money to pay for expenses and what have you in order to keep teaching. And I can tell you that teaching English, even like this, is the worst paying job I've ever had in my life. Why I do it, I really don't know. I guess my life is coming to a shitty end. Question 18. What does Bill want the top 10% of teachers to do for the rest of the teachers? What Bill would like the top 10% to do is show the other 90% how to properly teach a class. You know, get them motivated, new techniques, new ways of explaining things, and how to get through to the end of the day without shooting the children. Question 19. Ellen asks Bill what regular working people can do to help with the education system. What is Bill's advice? So his advice is to just go to your local school and get involved. You know, help in any way you can, and even try to be a mentor. So a mentor is like an older person that advises a younger person on what to do with their lives. I would make a really bad mentor, because yeah, kids, don't copy my life. Unless you want to be sat in front of a camera like this working for pennies, really, just find a better job. Sweeping the streets is a better job than working as an English teacher. Just don't do it, seriously. Question 20. How much of the annual budget of America is used to help people overseas according to Bill? According to Bill, it's less than 1% of the budget. But from what I understand, the budget of America is quite hefty. I mean, it's, you know, we're not talking pocket change here. You couldn't lose it down the back of the sofa or anything like that. So I think that's probably still quite a lot of money, all told. And finally, number 21. What does Ellen say is the best thing about having a large amount of money? Well, Ellen says that the best thing about having a large amount of money is using it to help others who are less fortunate. Personally speaking, if I had a large amount of money, I would be using it to get drunk and indulge my carnal pleasures. That would be the best use of my money if I had it. But seeing as I'm unlikely to ever have a large amount of money, it would just have to be a dream for now, what it's like to have money. As Spike Milligan once said, money may not buy you happiness, but I want to have enough of it to find out for myself if it's true. There was a man who really knew wisdom. Yeah. Well, anyway, that was the end of another video. Bit of a hash job on this one, I'm afraid. Like I say, I didn't do my usual preparation for it, so this has been a bit, whoa, in the air and not very well rehearsed. So hopefully next week I'll be more prepared, better organised, and if you're saying to me you haven't noticed any difference, I'll be looking for you, seriously. Anyway, come back next week for hopefully something a bit more substantial and a bit more useful. And before you go, alright, don't hit the like button, don't worry about it. But subscribe and watch a playlist or two and all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.